Just all right. Toastmaster Movistar is coming, so no worries. We are also starting recording, and if any of you does not wish to, all right, Toastmaster Movistar is coming, so no worries. Okay, that's the evidence of live stream working. All right. So if anyone doesn't wish to be recorded or live stream, please tell us in advance so that we can suspend the recording for them. All right. So I will be the Sergeant at Arms and I will open the meeting. So, all right. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this 999th meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. We welcome you all and we thank you all for joining us. Also congratulate you on beating Karachi and getting here and getting online on Zoom as well. So today we have an exciting meeting in store. As Sergeant at Arms, I will remind everyone that there are a few ground rules. The first rule is that you stay silent and mute yourself unless it's you're asked to speak. Number two, we prefer not to talk about three topics: sex, religion, and politics. And number three, you're all encouraged to turn on your videos because we need to have as much a flavor of a live meeting, in-person meeting as possible, even for those who are online. So with that, let me welcome our President, Toastmaster Ahmed.
Good evening, everyone. Toastmasters is a brief history about Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a public platform where people from all walks of life come together to improve their public speaking skills and leadership skills. And it was basically formed on October 22nd, 1924 by Ralphie Smedley in Englewood, Colorado. And it is a non-profit educational organization which is situated worldwide for the purpose of promoting communication and public speaking and leadership skills in different parts of the world. Our club, Karachi Toastmasters, is about to celebrate its 1000th meeting, as we were founded back in September 2000. And hope you're there to, join us for our celebration. Okay. Any guests?
Yes, we have quite a few. We have guests here as well.
Your good name?
Ramzan.
Okay. Ramzan, can you come on the stage? And yeah.
Yes. You have to introduce yourself.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Ramzan Printwala. I'm founder of Print Easy. Print Easy is a one-stop printing solution, and we focus on startups, small businesses. And there is another division of us as well, which caters corporates and all. Apart from that, as far as my education is concerned, so I've done bachelor's software engineering. Not actually done, obviously. I just left it. I just left few courses, so I haven't completed it yet. And apart from that, if you talk about my interest, I'm very much interested in wilderness-based programs, and I'm part of organizations like Youth Impact, Training Impact, SEM Adventures. And what all these organizations do, they work in wilderness. They take you out of your comfort zone, and basically they specialize in wilderness-based programs like 5 to 4 days camping in Upper Himalayas, where we take all the basic necessities from you people and we put you in an uncomfortable situation, and then from there you start learning. So that's basically, and I've been part of these programs since last 4 to 5 years. And I have camped in Upper Himalayas. I've camped here in Karachi, Mubarak village as well. And apart from that, I volunteered for more or less 20, 25 different organizations. Since I started it since my university, so obviously multiple organizations made multiple posts from as low as to basic volunteer to organizing the entire event to organizing the 2,000, 3,000 people's conference. So that's a little introduction.
We also have another guest, and that was a perfect icebreaker. And congratulations, Azhar, you have competition. We have another guest, Azhar Ali Abbasi. Yeah, Mr. Azhar, would you like to introduce yourself?
Are you asking me?
No. Sorry, there's another Azhar, Azhar Ali Abbasi. I'm asking them to introduce themselves. Mr. Azhar Ali Abbasi, can you introduce yourself? That's our third guest. All right, we can come back to Mr. Azhar later. We have guest Amna Sarfraz. Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Amna, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. And come on, Mr. Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Amna Sarfraz and I am currently I'm working at Artistic Millionaires, and the reason why I'm here to attend a live session is to understand how a Toastmaster session works. So I'm currently heading the section of people and culture at Artistic Millionaires, and we want to bring it in our company. So before Artistic Millionaires, I graduated from IBA in 2010, and right after my graduation from IBA, I joined Agro Fertilizers. And for the next 10 years of my career, I worked in Agro. And then last year, I resigned from Agro, and I, along with my other ex-Agro colleagues, we initiated a startup. And for the last 1 year, I was working on that. And now the startup has come to a decent position. So I feel a little offloaded. So I've joined Artistic Millionaires. So the reason why I'm here is to learn how a session works, so I can replicate. I can bring it to Artistic Millionaires because we used to have it in Agro as well.
Yes.
We brought Toastmasters in Agro as well.
Yes.
And now I want to bring it at Artistic Millionaires. So that's why I'm here, and that's
Wonderful.
So
That's
thank you.
wonderful. Thank you so much. We have another guest and two very special guests, but we have another guest, Mr. Kashif Nawaz. Mr. Kashif, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mohammad Kashif Nawaz, and basically I'm from Jung. I have done my master in Pakistan studies, and apart from this, I have a YouTube channel where I upload videos in English as well as Urdu. So I am here to learn confidence and learn character building and leadership and all these skills. So I have a dream that I want to become a motivational speaker and all these things. So that's why I am here to learn soft skills. So that's all from my side.
Thank you so much. We have another guest who has written her introduction. My name is Diana. I'm in Toastmaster 27 years, and I am District 97 Oshawa Moose Lodge in 2000. I am online. So welcome, Toastmaster Diana. It's once again a pleasure having you. And we have a very special guest, Miss Anne. They both are Toastmasters, and Mr. Azam is the Division Director, Division C. So please come on the stage. And
Thank you very much, fellow Toastmaster and guest. It's my great pleasure to be here after I think 2.5 years. I will say 2.5 years back here. And as the GM Salaman House said, I am Division Director of Division A. Okay. And I am visiting nowadays here I have official visit, and whoever come Toastmaster come here in Karachi, he cannot avoid Toastmaster in Bihar. So he grabbed me and bring me here, and that's why I'm here. And I'm looking forward for a wonderful meeting. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much. We have another guest, Hamza Khalid. Mr. Hamza Khalid, would you like to introduce yourself?
So hello all, assalamu alaikum.
Welcome.
As you know my name, I am Hamza Khalid. I am a final year undergraduate student in computer science from PF Karachi. And secondly, I am currently looking forward to pursue my career in data related fields, being data engineering. Apart from this, I have interest in sports and exploring things. Thank you.
Amazing to have you. And over to you, Madam President.
Sorry?
Yeah. Toastmaster Hina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Assalamu alaikum, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Hina Azam, and I joined Toastmaster 1.5 years ago. I'm a PPPR in Wittybird's Toastmasters Club. It's an international online club. And I'm VP Education in Cloud 122 Toastmasters Club. Both are online clubs. I'm a microbiologist, a mother, and a passionate Toastmaster. Thank you.
And now for the business segment.
Yeah.
So I call upon DTM.
Thank you so much. So last week, our 998 meeting took place, and let me just recap the meeting results. Apologies, I haven't been able to issue the certificates. This is the third meeting of the year, so not too far behind. Inshallah, we'll issue them soon. So in the last meeting, there were 4 speakers, and Best Speaker and Best Critics Choice Award went to myself. Best Table Topics went to no prizes for guessing, of course, Mariam Afaf Tidwai. Best Facilitator, DTM Shakib. Best Big Four, Toastmaster Ahmed, and Best Evaluator, myself. And this is what happens when you guys don't take speech slots. So we also had an academy session on Saturday where we had witnessed a memorable keynote by DTM Sarfraz, who taught us the secrets, ins and outs of how to present yourself on Zoom professionally, clearly, and lucidly. So with that, another bit of business, and that business is that we originally had our advanced evaluation showdown event on the 31st, but now that on the request of the project leader, it has been rescheduled to August 13th. And we'll also be floating this announcement. I hope no one has any objection to that. And with that, I hand over the charge back to Madam President.
And now I'll be introducing the Toastmaster of the day. He's none other than TM Fahim Razak. So give a round of
Thank you, Madam President, TM Bihar Khan, and good evening, everyone, ladies and gents, members and guests. Well, today the theme of the meeting is rain, rain, go away. Those of you who have never been to Karachi, you just do not know what sort of havoc it creates, the excitement it creates in Karachi, if not anywhere in Pakistan. It brings all sorts of feelings, the apprehension, the excitement. We just don't know what to feel like, right? Even 2 weeks before the first raindrop is due to arrive, as the weather forecast people forecast, we're like, oh, it's going to rain. 2 weeks, oh, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to work. And for the next 2 weeks, this will be our conversation every day. People will come to work, go to school, everybody will have this topic. It's pretty banal in overseas, but in Pakistan, it's an event in itself that people prepare for it. And that's why we have this theme. You see, I kind of like it to a party and a hangover. When it's raining, you're all excited. Oh, look at the smell. I won't shower in the rain. But the next morning, what the, oh, as you open the door. So it's like that. I came across a joke on the web. It's like two clouds arguing, one in the Western country, say America, for example, one in Pakistan. They were like, see how dark I am. I'm full of water. That's how dark I am as well, the one in America. I have got a 3 miles radius and my team members are here. I have got 4 miles radius, the Karachi one goes. Then the Karachi one had the final blow. I understand you rained last night in America. Yes, that's right. I see no drop of water there this morning. You see in Karachi, that patch of land? You see the water there? I rained there 15 days ago. That's how potent I am. So that's Karachi, ladies and gents, for you. Now, let me introduce you to the meeting, the structure of the meeting. There are 3 sessions to it. One is the prepared speeches. The second one is the table topic. And the last one is general evaluation. The prepared speeches is where the members come on the stage, give a prepared speech from their pathway, basically their learning program that they've been assigned or they've selected. Usually the timing of the speech is between 4 to 6 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes, but the evaluators will announce before the speaker come on the stage. Once that gets out of the way, it takes about an hour or so. Then we get into the table topic session. It's a more impromptu. You get called upon, usually the guests who have not spoken, and they are given the topic and they are asked to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes. The only thing I would say about that is if you are lucky enough to be invited upon, grasp the opportunity, speak your heart, speak your mind, do not be afraid of anything. And the last one is the general evaluation session, where the general evaluator will come on the stage, evaluate the whole meeting, the general points, this and that, and will also ask upon the facilitators and evaluators to the speakers to come on the stage and give the evaluation. So that's basically in a nutshell, but as you will progress along, you will see, especially those who are new to the meeting. Now, with any meeting, it cannot go on, it cannot be complete without the facilitators. So I'm not going to introduce, I'm going to introduce the facilitators, but I will not call them upon the stage apart from 1 or 2. So, well, I do. The first one is grammarian TM Bihar Khan. She will be noting the good use of the grammar, where we particularly did well, and but more importantly, well, not so good use of the grammar. If there's anything that she will highlight upon, she will not call the names, so do not worry, but you will know who you are. The next one is a timer, DTM Talab bin Hamid. I know he likes to keep a keen eye on the timing. That basically he will be timing each speaker. Speed up. How long do I have now? I'm already all the time. He'll be timing every speaker. As I said, it's between 5 to 7 minutes of speech. So at 5 minutes, if it's a 5 to 7 minute speech, at 5 minutes, he will pop up the green light. Then at 6 minutes, the orange light. And then at 7th minute, the red light, indicating the speaker that he or she has 30 seconds.
Except it's yellow, not orange.
Yellow, yes, yellow. The one thing is, although 5 minutes, the green light will come on, but the speaker would have qualified if he had spoken for at least 4 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a grace period either side of the speech. The next one is table topic. Is given 1 to 2 minutes to the speaker. At 1 minute, the green light will come on, indicating that the speaker has met the minimum requirement time. At 2 minutes, the yellow light will come on, and at 2.5 minutes, the red light will, At 1 minute and 30 seconds, the yellow light will come on. At 2 minutes, the red light will come on, indicating that the speaker has got 30 seconds to wrap up the topic. The final is the general evaluation session, where the evaluators will be given between 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, the green light will come on. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the yellow light. And at 3 minutes, the red light will come on, indicating that 30 seconds to go. So that's the timer role. The next one is our counter, very important role. He or she will be counting our R's, basically the filler words. R's, so, you know, well, anything that we fill in between the pauses. It gets awkward, that's why they will be counting it. At the end of the evaluation, they will be giving the report. The next one is word counter, as always. He's the DTM Shoaib. He's always our word counter. He's been given the permanent role for this.
Unfortunately.
You come forward and grab it every time.
Not every time. Just
Just this time, yeah.
just this time.
Yes, just this time, that's right. Our next one is Word Master, and for that, I would like to invite TM Bihar Khan to please come on the stage.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. The word of the day today is bench, which I've already circulated in the group. It means wet or thoroughly soaked.
Thank you, Madam President. And what a perfect word to choose on the theme, drenched. Well, I can't remember how many times I was drenched over the last 1.5 weeks. It has been raining. The next facilitator is our listener, DTM Ali Asharanjum. He'll be looking out for the bits of interesting information throughout the meeting, and the important part, and will quiz the members and the guests at the end of the meeting. So please do pay attention. There are brownie points to be gained and the pride to go home with. And finally, I've been too serious, and that's why I need a joke master to come and bring love to all of us. So for that, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Mufaddil Murtaza to come on the stage.
Hello everyone. So we have a rainy weather, and a rainy weather goes with some rainy jokes. So get ready for some riddles. What do books wear on a wet day, on a wet and rainy day?
Jacket.
Raincoats. When does it rain money? When does it rain money? Any guesses? When there is a change in the weather. Okay, why did the man use ketchup in the rain? Why did the man use ketchup in the rain?
Because he was getting late.
Because it was raining cats and dogs. Okay, why did Iron Man sleep outside when it rained? Why did Iron Man sleep outside when it rained?
Because he would be.
Sorry?
He would be dusted.
Yeah, good one. To get some rust. What always goes up when the rain comes down? What always goes up whenever the rain comes down? An umbrella. Okay, how does one raindrop ask another out? How does one raindrop ask another out? What are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? How do you wash a waterproof rain jacket?
You dry clean it.
Yeah, you dry clean it. Good. What is the difference between rain and climate? What is the difference between rain and climate?
Get a dictionary and you find out.
You can't rain a tree. You can't rain a tree, but you can climb it. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, since it started raining, all my wife has done that it looks sadly through the stupid window. If it gets any worse, I'll let her in. That's all. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Great, thank you, TM Mufaddil Murtaza. What a set of jokes you had. Perfect for the theme. Right, let's get into the gist of the meeting now. That's the first session, is the prepared speech session. And for the first speaker, we have TM Mubashir. Do you know TM?
Yeah. There she
Oh.
is. But actually, as I said, the agenda changed even before the meeting. So Toastmaster Ahmed Bilal is the first speaker. Yeah. So just a slight.
Saved my life for another 5 minutes.
That's a part of the meeting. That's what we always do. Even though we don't need to change it, we still change it.
Yeah, habit.
All right. So the first speaker is Toastmaster Ahmed Bilal, and I would like to call upon his evaluator, and his evaluator is TM Mufaddil Murtaza. So over to you, TM Mufaddil.
It's my honor to evaluate the champion, TM Ahmed Bilal. and he will be giving his project speech too, and the title is Choose to be a hero in ground than a spectator in the crowd. Choose to be a hero in ground than a spectator in crowd. Over to you, Toastmaster Ahmed. Thank you.
I would like to request the timing for this project is 8 to 10 minutes, but the agenda says it's 5 to 7 minutes. So it's for the timer to record accordingly.
Thanks for informing. It will be duly considered.
Can anyone hear me clearly and see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. 12th February 2020. And it's 20th July 2022. Someone delivered his icebreaker at Karachi Toastmasters Club on 12th February, and someone is delivering his GTM project on 20th July at Karachi Toastmasters Club. The entire journey has been as beautiful, as wonderful, as amazing as we can imagine. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, Honorable President, we always have that choice to be a hero in ground than a spectator in crowd. I had several instances where I had a chance to become a hero. And I grabbed all those opportunities to be hero. Want to hear how? 2014, our annual contest of university. I was told to prepare for hosting. Exactly a day before I was told there's someone else who's doing it. All I practiced, all I learned, I had to unlearn. And I was sitting in that hall in frustration. Instantly, I got a call. We don't have that host available who we selected. Can you do this now? I said, yes. I hosted 5 hours event for the first time in my life. And as it concluded, I got standing ovation for straight 3 minutes from 700 people in that auditorium. And I cried 10 minutes after that. This journey of becoming a distinguished Toastmaster has been really amazing. Let me tell you for a few reasons. When I had an opportunity to come forward and do my part, as I always expected that I'm born to do nice things. I'm born to inspire and have that impact. It's about our district trio conference. One of our keynote speakers had hiccups and coughs while speaking. There were around 70 people in that hall. I realized the fact if I provide a water, he may feel better. I poured a glass of water, provided him that. He felt happy and he was completely active. I'm not saying I just did a good thing. I felt so proud of my upbringing. And this thing encouraged me to take part in management. I went to our program quality director and I said, sir, is there anything I can help you with? We organized the entire event. And at the end of the event, I was gifted with one of the most beautiful things. My mentor, DTM Talha, came closer, hugged me, kissed me, and said, son, I'm so proud of you. After that event, DTM Umar met me, and he said, we are surely going to need your help in our Leave No One Behind conference. I was the one who was leading everything from Karachi along with our very own, very energetic TM Rabia. We had a very successful event over there as well. Then I came across something which ended up being my Distinguished Toastmasters project. I got connected with one of the girls. She requested me for a call. She wanted to know what I have been doing throughout these 5-6 years as she was through all my Facebook posts. I said, one of the best things that I'm doing right now is I am volunteering at Toastmasters. She said, what exactly is Toastmasters? I said, a platform that helps people improve their communication and leadership skills. We don't only learn or understand this, we also practice this as well. She said, I have a group of people who would love to be part of this platform. We invited all of them to be in our meeting of storytellers. They all became part, but they were resistant to join that club. I had a discussion with my mentor, DTM Talha. I said, sir, what should we be doing to bring them on board? He said, there are a few options that we can do. One of them is make them part of our club. 2 is have their own independent club, and then we can work it out. And he also said, there's one club we need to rescue. We inspired and we communicated and convinced all of them to have their own club, and we rescued one of the club that was dying. This was a real source of motivation for us. Guess what? A new club, Stand Out Loud Toastmasters Club, came into being. And this is one of those clubs which will inspire generations, because the community there is of freelancers. And I'm sure they are going to grow further, they are going to improve and help everyone around. And one more thing happened during this journey of 2.5 years of being a Toastmasters. I remember in 2019, I took part in table topic contest. For first 15 seconds, I was just thinking what exactly is the topic? What do I have to speak about? What do I have to say? And you know, when a speaker comes on stage and he asks what exactly was the topic, and I did that. I spoke for 10 seconds more, and my table topic was ended in 25 seconds. And I was also continuing my progression pathway. I discussed one of the things with my mentor, and I said, so there's a problem. I've never been able to write my complete speech, and I've never been able to practice it well because of probably my professional engagement or because of the habit that I'm carrying. He said, if you're comfortable delivering your speeches without preparation, though it is not recommended, but if you feel extremely comfortable, continue with this, and you shall someday somehow find its reward. And imagine this year in 2022, I became 3rd place winner of table topics contest at district level. Whatever we decide to do or wherever we chip in, the only requirement is to be positive, energetic, and passionate. And there's one more thing that I remember I was told by someone, as I always love listening to the people who have spent a good part of their life. When I was 16, I provided a lift to one of the old men on my motorbike. And I said, I want to hear one thing, one good advice that you can provide me. And I promise I'll keep on working on that. He said, son, how old are you? I said, I'm 16. He said, count 6 to 8 years. Work really hard to be a better human being. Work on everything that you feel is important that will help you grow in your personal and professional life. And you will not have to work as hard as you might need to work in regular conditions. In those 8 years, I was studying at my university. I was completing my graduation. I had my permanent job. I was working at radio as an RJ. I was also continuing and handling my institute. And there was a lot. This all helped me do multitasking and be better at my workplace. And one more thing, that impromptu skill, I was asked in my recent interview for the current job, a critical question. If I was not a Toastmaster, I would never have been able to answer that. That was just only that impromptu public speaking skill that helped me. With that, I give complete credit to one of those people who are present here for all the success that I gained in these 2.5 years. Is someone who has thoroughly been with me, who has advised me on voice notes, on calls, on all the steps, and that is Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. He's like a mentor, he's like a spiritual father, he's been a great assistant, and I love you for everything that you did for me. And I promise you, I'm going to make you feel proud every day for my growth. Over to you. We cannot hear him. We cannot hear Toastmaster Fahim.
Thank God. Yeah.
That's why it was muted.
Oh,
Just on purpose.
I think you did well there. All right, next speaker is Toastmaster Mubashra. She is the first speech to this club, so that's an icebreaker speech. And this is from Presentation Mastery pathway. It's a level 1, project 1. Timer, please note the timing of the speech is going to be 4 to 6 minutes. The purpose of the speech is, of course, for the member, for T. Mubashra, to introduce herself to the club. The title of the speech is a procrastinator by default. A procrastinator by default. Over to you, Toastmaster Mubashra.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Good evening, everyone. My palms are sweating, my legs are shaking, but here I am. I just want to tell you a story. Many years ago, in a small town, you must have heard the name in Punjab, Tobatek Singh. It's a very small town. During a winter midnight, a lady with full months pregnant Tom, she was struggling hard with the delivery and in a great pain, and a midwife was assisting her in her parents' home. And then suddenly a sound was heard. 2 fires were shot, and the baby inside the mother's womb, who was struggling to come out and was not ready to face the world, was resisting to come out. And then the sound of these 2 shots distracted the baby, and the baby suddenly came out. So it was not ready to face the world, and this is how a procrastinator by default was born. And the name of the baby who was born was Mubashra, and I'm the life example in front of you. I had to deliver this speech a month ago. DTM Tala was after me, and I was just finding a way to escape, though the reasons were valid. But
This is how I'm here. So my number was 4th, and then one was born after that. As a fortunate last sibling among 5, I was honored to be treated by my elder siblings in a way the 4th one should be treated. So most of the time in my early childhood, I was like expert in making tea for them and preparing their medical journals. So because the 2 of them were in the medical college. I was a very hyperactive child, and it was because of those 2 sensational 5 shots at the time of my birth. And because I was like expert in preparing their medical journals, so since that time, one thing was clear in my childhood, that I'm not going to choose medicine as a profession. So I ended up as a finance professional, whereas I always wanted to be a sports person. When I was turned 4, I have a very different relationship with my father. I mean, you can say he's my ideal and always a mentor. So when I was 4, he took me to a nearby park and he bought a new roller skates for me. And he taught me how to balance myself on those roller skates. So I learned that technique in a couple of days. I remember that I was practicing in a parking lot near my house, and I was expert in just a couple of days. And then next 4 years of my life I spent on the skates. So my mother used to tell everyone that Mubashra was born with a quite fair complexion. She was Swedish when she was born. This was due to extra exposure of the sun, she burnt her skin. So I used to brought up by hearing that comment. So as I said, I learned that, balancing technique at a very early age of my life. So I balanced that complexion thing by marrying a very fair complexion man and had 2 kids with him. So when I was in grade 5, my father, he accidentally brought table tennis at home. And since then, it was part of our after-school activity. So sports and physical activity has always been a very important aspect of my life. But nowadays, there's no physical activity, but I can daydream myself playing a lot and having a lot of that energy in myself in a way. So I'm a mother of 2 children working as a head of finance in a ink manufacturing company. So every day is a challenge and my kids are my energy. So daily they are teaching me new things and I'm a good student. My daughter, who is 9, she loves to read books and I hardly read any book, but I love to buy them. And now I'm trying to impress her by reading in front of her. So at least I can impress someone. So I have so many things to talk about my relationship with my sisters, those who made me a tea expert, and also, drawing journals for them. And my only brother, who broke my thumb a couple of months ago while teaching me tennis in a badminton court. And then he bribed me by giving me a very fancy bag in order to compensate that, just a double entry effect of that. And my parents, my mother and my father, and there are a lot to talk about my husband, but I think this needs a separate session to reconnect on that. And thank you for having me on board on this forum, on the Toastmaster. And I think there's a lot to learn. And the delivery of my speech already proved that there's a lot to learn, because I have prepared something else. I postponed my tomorrow's, schedule for, canceled it. There was a training on the Finance Act. I postponed that because I have to do some important work. But I think this is also very important, and this will, take me or help me to improve all the communication skills which I need to further excel in. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mubashra, and congratulations on your first speech. Really good to know you. And we look forward to keep seeing you in the meetings. You see, I wish my parents had used the same excuse that your parents used, why I was so dark. They would just put their hand in shame. I was like, say something. What would have been brilliant to say, yeah, it plays so much in the sun, that's why it's dark, you know? It's dark. And I wish my sister was just like you, helping me with the journals. All she would say, I did it myself, you should do it yourself. That's it. So, very well done. Our next speaker is none other than DTM Sarfraz Nazir. And for his evaluation, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sayyid Azam. I think.
Yes, you're
here. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shakib. The GTM Sarfraz Nazir is going to deliver his project from the Pathway Innovative Planning. This project is from level 2, and the subject of the project is connect with your audience. The speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, and speech title is how to prepare a 5 to 7 minute speech in 5 to 7 minutes. So looking forward for a wonderful speech as he always delivered. Thank you, and over to you, GTM Sarfraz.
DTM Tala, I need permission to screen share.
Yeah, just give me a second, sir.
Okay.
You have the permission, sir.
DTM Tadha, when I start to say something meaningful, you can start the timing.
I consider that to have a word meaning, what you just said. All right. No worries.
Rain barse chum chum chum, gutne tak pani, how should I come? The rain is falling so hard that the water is up to my knees or my eyeballs. How can I make it to Beach Luxury or KTC meeting? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. If you were drenched lately in the Karachi rainfall, then you can give a 5 to 7 minute speech about it, what happened, why it happened, and how can you avoid getting drenched. I believe even a monkey can prepare a 5 to 7 minute speech, let alone Toastmasters, especially experienced Toastmasters. Now, you may have heard about mind mapping, a methodology that allows you to come up with ideas. And here's an example. You start with an idea, put it in the box in the middle of a piece of paper, and then you draw branches with ideas. And if you come up with an idea of another idea, that makes it a sub-idea. And when your brain kicks in to high gear, you start to have branches after branches, and this is what your map will look like. And before long, if you continue, this is what will happen. It will take you just 5 to 7 minute speech to get out of this mess. So I don't think mind mapping is the way to go if you want to prepare a speech within a few minutes. I have a better method for you, and I call it tree mapping, because you start from the bottom and build up your speech. It's a very easy method to use. It not only allows you to come up with a speech at a fast speed, but also keeps you in a straight line, heading towards that direction. You can drive a Ferrari and press your foot to the pedal and go at a real high speed, but it's of no use if you're heading towards a wall. Tree mapping makes sure that you are driving in the right direction. I like this method because I created it based on my experience. And I'm going to explain to you how it works. You come up with a topic when you're asked to speak. Topic has to be something that you're passionate about, something that you love about, something that's happened to you, something that you can talk about even in your sleep. You start with it, then you think, hey, if I were to give a speech on this topic, what do I want the audience to remember? What is my takeaway message? What is the theme of my message? And then you take a piece of paper and you write down 5 to 7 ideas. You don't need 2 branches. List them in any order that you're thinking. Once you have 5 to 7 ideas, you rank them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you take the top 3. And those are the 3 points that you will make in your speech. Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Then for each point that you're making, use the method that I call PEER, P-E-E-R. What is the point? Explain what you mean by that point, then elaborate by giving a story, especially a personal story, because you don't have to spend hours researching. It's something that you experienced, something that you have lived through, so you can talk about it. Then restate the point and transition to your next point. Second point, do the same thing and transition to your third point. After you've completed your third point, you're ready for your conclusion. And conclusion will be basically summary of the 3 points and your call to action if you have one. Then to appear that you're competent, you can go online, brainyquotes.com, or just Google the topic that you're working on, quotes, and you'll come up with hundreds of quotes. Check just a few of them that have only 1 sentence. Look at few, pick the one that best fits your speech and throw that quote in there. So the audience said, wow, what a speech, what a great speech. It does not take that long to take a piece of paper, write 5 to 7 ideas on a topic that you want to speak about, rank them in order, the important one first to the least important, then just pick the top 3. And for those 3, think what's happened in your life that can be used as an example. And I have given several speeches at KTC to give examples and samples of how I've used my personal experiences. And the transition is how you go from one point to the next point. Very simple. Toastmaster Fahim Razak can tell you, when I was talking about Parveen, I said, I was so happy when Parveen moved out. And the transition was Parveen moved out, Nasreen moved in. And I went on to the story about Nasreen. Simple 1-sentence transition from point 1 to point 2. 2 transitions in between. You transition to when you start seeing the red light, transition to your conclusion, summarize the 3 points and call for action. And like saying that, hey, if I can prepare a speech in 5 to 7 minutes time, if a monkey can do it, and if a monkey can do it, you can do it. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Sarfaraz Nazir. What an educational speech yet again. You see, my parents keep telling me, why don't you use your mind? Now I've got the answer. I'm going to use my tree. And secondly, if a monkey can do it, why should I do it? Right, our next speaker is Toastmaster Bihar Khan. And for his evaluation, oh, you've got a good one there. I would like to call upon DTM Sarfaraz Nazir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim Razak, once again. Our next speaker, TM Bihar Khan, is working on his level 1 project. This is his second speech in level 1, writing a speech with purpose, which is a 5 to 7 minutes speech. And what is the purpose of this speech today? I have no earthly idea. He will tell you in the next 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic skills or basic methods for writing a speech with defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic of the speaker's choosing. Please welcome Toastmaster Khan. The title is Patience is not a virtue. Patience is not a virtue.
Let's state the purpose and then start this.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much, DTM Sarfraz, for that warm welcome. I see quite a few familiar faces here, but new ones. My name is Bihar Khan, Bihar with a B. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that for the first time. My topic today is patience is not a virtue. I know this goes totally against a very common saying. Please, by raise of your hands, anybody who's not heard of the saying, patience is a virtue. I guess everyone over here has. The reason I chose this topic is because I really wanted to understand who said this. Why the hell did they say this? Apparently, in the 1300s in UK, there was a poet called William Langland, and that guy came up with this proverb that patience is a virtue. A recent experience in my life kind of led me to contradict this statement. Back in 2018, I bought my very first automobile. It was a Toyota Passo. I got it leased from a bank. I loved my car. It was my first car. I've traveled quite a lot in that car as well. And then 4 years down the line, I decided that I had enough of that car. My family also started nagging me up to purani ho gayi hai, badal lo. And eventually, I decided to sell that car. My timing, however, was slightly off. It was just before Ramzan that I was able to sell that car. And I sold it through Park Wheels, which I'm sure everyone here has heard of or used at some point. Now, when I started to look for another car for myself, you would not believe I had ready cash in my bank account. I knew exactly what I wanted. I had done all of my research. And yet, it took me 4 weekends during Ramzan, going back and forth all throughout Karachi, all the way from Nazabad, if anyone over here who lives in Nazabad, to DH. And yet, I could not find the car. There's 2 cars that I liked. One, when I showed it to my brother, he said, "Arey, iske to 3 piece touch up hai. Ye bikegi nahi." When I want to sell it, we'll figure that out later. Anyhow, you know how elder siblings are. I'm sure a lot of you have them. She mentioned hers as well. So I didn't buy that car. Finally, another car that I liked, and this person had not sold his car for 3 months. You can see it on the ad. So I decided, yeah, this guy would be easy to convince. I went to his house, checked out his car, really liked his car. I think he'd driven it barely 20,000-25,000 kilometers. And when I made him the offer, he said, "No, I don't want to negotiate at all. My price is fixed, and either you can take it or leave it." And so my only dream to buy a new car ended with that last day. As a last compromise, my brother said, "Achha chalo, let's buy a car together. You have cash, let's get some money from the bank." And then we went to the bank and got a car lease. I booked a Hyundai sedan. It's called Hyundai Elantra. I booked it on May 15th. I used my resources or jugaad, and they told me, "Okay, sir, 30 din mein aa jayegi, masla nahi." Today we are, I think it's July 19th, and yet I am waiting for my car. Apparently, for the last 4 days, it is being polished at the showroom. I don't know which polish they are. So whoever said patience is a virtue, I disagree respectfully with that person. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bihar Khan. I really hope and wish that you get your new car very soon. Well, you could have approached me for a car. I've got a 2003 Cultus. It has only got countless touch-ups, and I'm very much willing to negotiate. I would even come to your house, drop it. No guarantees, though, of course. Right, our next speaker is DTM Ali Ashar Anjum, and for his evaluation, I would like to call upon Madam President, Toastmaster Ahmed Khan.
Hello, Toastmasters, and yes, DTM Ali Ashar Anjum is doing his effective coaching level 1 project to write a speech with a purpose. The title of the speech is Take Your Time. The duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And the objectives of the speech are there's only one. The purpose of this project is to learn. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Over to you. And please use word of the day.
French.
Good. That's
I
the
just do
president.
it. Okay, should I start?
Yes, can you go a little back? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my love, marry me. I'm the child, carry me. Let's go to the heaven, towards the sky. Say to the whole world, bye bye and goodbye. That's how I proposed my girlfriend for the very first time. And she laughed exactly like you all laugh. And just imagine, someone needs so much courage to say, will you marry me? And then what you get? A good laugh. I said, I'm serious. So then she said, no, I need some time. I said, okay, take your time. At that instant, I just said, okay, take your time, but deep down on my heart, I was drenched with sorrows and pain. And that was the first blow to this wounded soldier. And for the whole night, I was restless, moving around, and on the next instant, I received a call, and that was from my boss. He said, Ali, I have work for you. I said, I'm not feeling well. He said, okay, take your time, but not by tomorrow, you have to do it right now, but take your time.
Yeah.
That was salt on my pain or a wound. That I was refused and then jump it into a situation that I have to do some work. Then I was scrolling on Facebook and a notification popped and it said it's a birthday of this person. It was she. Don't laugh. She was my teacher, her parents, and my school. So Toastmasters, she used to teach me Urdu and also responsible for the assembly proceedings. Since my childhood, I used to stutter a lot. And it was a dream for me to participate in assembly and to perform something. Every day, I was standing in the assembly and want to yes, I want to do this thing, but don't have that courage to do so. Because I know that I could not do that thing because I do stutter. I walked up myself and rushed to her and said, I want to perform. She's okay, go for it. You have your slot on the next week. But on the day when I supposed to present or perform, I get off. You know why? Because that's not easy thing for me. Next day, I went to school. She came to class and did nothing. I was broken at that moment that why she was not talking with me. I rushed to her and said, sorry. She said, oh, no lad, take your time. These 3 words was a life-changing. I was battling with myself that I let down her who was so caring to me. She should scold me, she should slap me or beat me for what I had done. But she didn't do that. What she did, take your time. Next day, I gather my courage and perform in the assembly. And I received the poem of Faiz Ahmed Faiz Hum Dekhenge. And at that time, I did it well. I was satisfied at that time. But all this incident was in my mind as I just saw that Facebook notification and said that I was treated like this in my whole life. Whenever I was baffled, perplexed, and drenched with the sorrows and pains, people give me time. Why I am rushing for the answer? Why? So Toastmasters, the next moment, I put up my mobile phone and I proposed her again, but in a different manner. Oh my love, marry me. I am the child. Carry me. Take your time. Don't be worried. I will wait. Don't be hurried. So that's all from my side. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Aliya Sharanjo, for once again a heartbreak speech. I've been trying to figure out throughout your speech in which speech you have not used 3 words. That's love, sorrow, and pain. Well, I'm still figuring out.
There's some motivational status.
I think we're figuring that out now. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Syed Bajahat. Is he online?
No, he's not.
It's not online. Okay, so we'll move on to Toastmaster Shakib. He was here a moment ago. That's probably might have gone. Yeah. Is the long time? No. Oh.
It's the connector.
We're just waiting for the only speaker that we have, and he is Mr. TM Shakib. Sorry, do you know who is the song master? I wish I. So you wanna come?
I will see next week.
So I don't know who's put together. Or just an update to the online audience. We are just waiting for TM Shakiluddin to come from the break. I think he might have gone for prayers. He's the last speaker because TM Ghulam Qadir and TM Sayyid Wajahad aren't available today.
But last week it ended around
Right, our next speaker is TM Shakiluddin, and he is around now. For his evaluation, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Shakibuddin is working on presentation mastery level 3, selective project, and connect with storytelling. Title of his speech is A Nightmare. It's 5 to 7 minute speech. A Nightmare, Toastmaster Shakibuddin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. A nightmare. Well, it was not a nightmare. It's a real story which I'm going to share you. It was around 4 to 5 years back, just after Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Azha. I think it was the 4th day or 3rd day after Eid al-Adha. My sister's family came to our home, and unfortunately there was nothing in our kitchen. My wife whispered me in my ears that there is nothing at home. I told her, it's okay, no problem, I will handle. So during discussion, I told my brother-in-law that there is a very new restaurant in the city. It's a very big restaurant, and nowadays I'm hearing from many of my friends that this is a very good restaurant and having a very good food. So let's go to there. So the children also excited. Yes, go to dine out, and we all ready to go. So after some time, after a few minutes, we were reached there. And the restaurant was very good. It was just opened after 3 to 4 days of Eid. Neat and clean. The ambience was good. The staff was good. The service was good. And so overall, our feeling was very good. We ordered so many things because it was just after Eid. So we didn't order any beef or mutton. We ordered chicken, Chinese, and we ordered chicken kadai like this. So then it was a very good experience of that restaurant. Although food was not as much as it was heard to us that it was amazing. But anyway, it was not bad. It was good. And then we all left back to our homes. But But the real dilemma started after 3 hours. After 12 o'clock, there was a bombardment. Everybody's stomach finds that there was a bombardment in their stomachs. So, out of 10 who visited that restaurant, 4 of them were seriously food poisoned, including my wife and my mother and my sister and my niece. All of them was affected with that incident or with that food, but 4 were seriously. So by morning 8 o'clock, 4 were admitted in the Bihar Khan hospital. So and then the real trouble started, and I was moving from here, and there, and the hospital in emergency ward. They put their beds in one in north position and one in south and one in east and one in west. So I moved just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was feeling so much guilty in myself because it was my idea to go to dinner, and everybody was looking at me like this. Shakib, it was your idea. So anyway, after it was very disturbing day for me, and after 24, I think to 36 hours, they released one by one to all those admitted persons. But the day I spent in the hospital, and by moving here and there, I think I have moved around 8 to 10 kilometers in the same day, just in a ward. So this was just my feeling. Maybe it could be more. And total is very learning for me and learning for others, which I will share you later. But so many times we heard about the things that are very good, and we just rushed to there. It was not like that. Anyway, this was again a learning, and at the end, I just want to share. I learned one thing. In fact, 2 things. One, go to dine out or go to outside for dinner or for lunch, but do not take a lot. One thing. That's what everyone knows. And second thing, you should know the timings. If your timings are wrong, maybe good place is wrong for you. And our timings was wrong because the restaurant was opened just after 3 days of closure for weekdays. So they maybe used the old food stuff. So this is one more learning, and this is all for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shakib. Very sorry to hear about the incident with you, and hope your family is better now. That reminds me of a little joke though, the food poisoning. So family went to a restaurant and they all got the food poisoning. Later they went and complained to the restaurant, look, what you guys done to us? What do you mean we've done to you? We only sell food here. You might have taken the poison at home. So that's how they try to see everything. Our next one, that brings us to the end of the prepared speech session. Please vote, and the vote will be floated by DT and SAT. The in-person audience can also vote using the pen and paper.
We will now have the song of the day.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. Everybody is qualified, so the speakers. By the way, has all the speakers qualified?
Well, Toastmaster Bijar fell short of the minimum time by quite a margin. So, other than that, everyone's
right. And our song master today is
Toastmaster Ahmed.
Oh, and she's online.
Yeah, she's online.
Well, our song master is here, Toastmaster Ahmed, and with that, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. And I think we should not make it like the de facto vote counter that only I'll volunteer for the song master. So I've just reached Lahore and after a day drive. So quickly, I would like to sing a song. I loved it since my childhood, and it starts with raindrops. I'm sure I'm audible and visible.
You're not visible though. You're
Okay,
audible.
it's okay. I don't know about the net connections here, so it's okay if I'm visible.
Just
Okay.
like Adele, you make music on the eyes.
Oh, no, yes, nothing like that today. I think we'll all get bored because it's a very, very old song. And I hope some of you knows it or not. Raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apples to raise, babies and sleigh bells and schnitzels with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the
Yes, Toastmaster Rabia? Are you there? We suddenly
dog bites, when the feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettle and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite things. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Great job. Great job. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia, for the lovely song. And now we move on to the table topic session. And our table topic master today, our very own Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza. So I would like to invite you.
Everyone, again, whenever it rains, I stand at my window. I can hear all the monsoon sounds, the thundering of the clouds. The thundering of the clouds, flurry of rain clattering against my window. The sound of the leaves and also the tranquil silence. I enjoy that solitude and the peace that it goes with it. It seems as if the sound are inviting me to become a part of that. I really cannot resist myself going out and enjoy in my balcony and get myself drenched into the rain. Believe me, it's a feast for the eyes to see the balcony garden in the season. Through all the plants have the green color due to the chlorophyll, but don't know why after absorbing the rain, each color is distinctive. You can feel and you can see the shades of all green colors, starting from the green colors, ending to the yellow colors. Even the usual road looks beauteous when they are drenched in the rain. It feels wonderful to breathe the air ripped with pleasure. The smell of the lovely scent is mesmerizing. This all also takes me to the memories where we enjoyed the rain in the childhood, having the teas and the pakoras. I don't know what we say pakoras in English.
Fritters.
Fritters. Thank you, Didi Abdallah. And it does not gives the rain does not gives the bath only from the outside. It cleans us from the inside as well. However, for Karachiites, the rain is a blessing and a curse at the same time. So we enjoy some part of the rain and we are cursing the other part. So our table topics, we would be moving around the topics, around the rains as the topic of the day is rains. And let's start the table topics. For my first topic, I would like to invite DTM Mohammed Faisal. I guess he's on.
Yes, he's online.
Are you available? DTM
Yes.
Faisal.
DTM Faisal, are you there? DTM Faisal? All right, we can come back to him.
Okay, let's invite TM Azir Khan.
He is not online. He was, yeah, but he's not right.
Okay, let's start with some guests we have over here. Guest Amna, can you please come over here?
So I'm not exactly sure what do I have.
Okay, let me explain this to you. I will be giving you a topic, and
So you give me a topic right now.
Yeah.
yes, exactly, and you have to talk on that topic for 2 minutes.
At least 1 minute. On 1 minute, everybody, you'll be shown the green light, 1 minute, 30-second yellow, and 2 minutes red. Red light means whenever you show a red light, whether it's a prepared speech or evaluation, that means you have to wind up within 30 seconds. That's it.
Okay, so your topic is food you want to eat when it pours, when it rains. Food you want to eat when it rains.
Do I get like 5 to 7 minutes to think about it?
No. This is all it's all.
It's
all
all
about.
That was a prepared speech. This is impromptu.
Okay.
So you get to learn both flavors of speech, right? Both.
The food that I like to eat when it pours.
Yes.
So Karachiites have a specific, taste in their own. So it's different from Lahore, and that's a complete different debate in itself. How Lahoris and how Islamabadites and Karachiites have a different palate. So that's one thing. Rain and the kind of palate that Karachiites have developed over time, and there have been some spells in Karachi over the last couple of years. There has been rain, but I think seeing the age bracket that all of us have. We have seen the drought spells as well. When it wasn't raining for a good 4 to 5 years, and it used to not rain at all. So firstly, it's a blessing to be able to have something in rain. But so just like you mentioned, thank God somebody mentioned fritters. So now I know the proper term, what to use. So the kind of food that Karachiites would like, definitely something spicy. It's got to be something spicy because that's the trademark of the Karachi palate. So fritters, absolutely. Then samosas, I don't know if there's an English term for samosa, but that's definitely something that Karachiites would like. What I personally like and what I personally do at home is that, and especially, that's an excuse. We have these memes going on Facebook as well, where people are making jokes that the weather forecast guy got a beating from his wife because roads pakode bana ke khilwata hai. So I've also been expected at home to make pakodas, and I like pakodas myself. So my husband, I'm making it more for myself than for my husband. So I guess the foods that we like are deep fried, spicy foods, given the Karachiite palate that we have, and so that's about it. Yeah.
We also have Toastmaster Diana McEnroy online. She will deliver via writing on the box.
Okay.
So I will just write the topic, just sign her the topic.
Okay. So TM Diana, right?
Yeah.
That's the name. Okay.
Yeah.
So the topic for TM Diana is share any childhood memory of rain.
All right.
Yeah. So share any childhood memory of rain.
Meanwhile, you can.
Okay, so moving to the next table topic speaker. Now I would like to invite guest Ramzan Printwala. Okay, so your topic is, do you feel happy or sad when it rains for a longer period of time? Do you feel happy or sad when it rains for a longer period of time?
Thank you. So it's a very interesting question, but it completely depends on the situation. It depends on the circumstances, especially in Karachi. Obviously, nobody feels happy when it rains for the long longer period of the time. But as I already told, I've been to camping and I've been to multiple locations. So it's always feel happy, feel amazing when you're camping in Upper Himalayas and it rains there. And I would like to share the story of a recent camping event. It was back in last month when we went for a camping. So as soon as we landed at the camping spot, it started raining. It was really amazing. We were really happy to see the rain because I went from Karachi and you know the weather of the Karachi, how hot it was. So it was really great welcome from the nature that the rain welcomed us. But as soon as it started to continue, first we installed the camp in the rain, and then the first day passed, it was raining. The second day passed, it was raining. The third day passed, it was raining. And then that rain started to create problems for us. And then everybody was sad about the rain, and everybody was praying to God, we need sun to kuch to do about it. And eventually, fifth day, the sun rose, and that was the day which everybody was happy about. Okay, finally, there is no rain, and so that was the day which we everyone went out apart and we enjoyed the nature for the reason we were there. And specifically, we continued our activities as well. The main purpose of going all these into these wilderness camps is to train participants, and it's raining for the whole days, 4 days. So all the participants, they spent all these days in the classroom, inside the tents. They were not allowed to go outside, obviously, because of safety protocol. And just to mention, the temperature at that there was in like 3 degrees or 2 degrees. So obviously that's cherry on top. It starts raining for 4 to 5 days, and you're just stuck in the camps. And eventually, finally, the sun came out, and we got to explore the nature, and we got to enjoy the nature. So that's good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramzan, for sharing such a wonderful experience. Now, I would like to invite guest Imran Ali. Okay, so topic for Imran is movies seems to make rains romantic with a song and dance. Movies seems to make rains romantic with a song and dance. Does this mood comes in real life for you?
I think, when it's raining and you're feeling bored, you can't do anything, you can't go outside, and if you have Netflix at your home, you can always, go and watch a movie that you really enjoy watching. So I think so, yeah. It does, impact your mood. You feel how, because usually, when it's not raining, things are a bit different. You're not closed inside of your house. But when it's raining, you're at home, and it's more like you're with your family, with your wife and children. So it's more, you can enjoy more with them. So they don't have any option nobody has an option to go out. So everybody is glued to the TV, and you're sitting with your spouse and enjoying time with them. So I think that does affect you. Sorry, yeah, we've gone through 3, I think. We've gone to 4. All right. Jana will write. So just give me a second. Wait a minute. Who have we had so far? Actually, yes. All right, so we had 3, I think. You got 2 more. So
okay, anybody who likes to volunteer?
the table topics.
You can try the Toastmaster Ahmed Shakib. You can try.
Okay.
You can try DTM Festival.
Okay. So I would like to invite TM Ahmed. Is he there?
Yeah, he's there.
Is he available?
Toastmaster Ahmed.
Ji.
All right. Can you please turn on your video?
Sure. Assalamu alaikum. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, TM
Thank
Ahmed.
you.
Topic for your table topic is your worst personal experience due to rain in Karachi. Your worst personal experience due to the rain.
Not in Karachi, so maybe you can skip the Karachi.
Okay.
Okay.
Where you had your worst experience.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I do remember my worst experience of the rain. I used to go to office on my bike, and I was very punctual, so I took off at 8 from my home, and it is 30 minutes drive from my home. So I was a trainee at Air Ferguson, and I wanted to reach office because it was attendance day and we had attendance every week. So that was very important to reach on time. So when I was on my way, the rain started and it was pouring. It was like small rocks falling from the sky on my face and everything. And I was totally drenched. And when I reached the office, I was the first person who came to the office. There was no one bothered to come to the office, and I was so ashamed. I should have stopped at the home and I should have waited for rain to stop. But and another thing was that there was no shade throughout my way from my home to the office. There was no shade, so I could have stayed underneath that shade for a few minutes so that rain could stop. And I was drenching and I was spreading water in the office here and there when I was walking. And it was the worst nightmare, you can say. It was the worst nightmare kind of thing. And then I asked my brother who was at home that please bring some clothes for me so I could change at office. And he was so nice that he did bring some clothes for me and I changed at the office. And when I came out of the washroom after changing, some sweeper was saying to asking someone, who is this person spreading water all over the office? And I just looked at my feet and walked past by them, and that was the worst experience of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed, for sharing the amazing worst experience we had, and we really enjoyed your speech. So this is the end of this table topic. But I guess we did all the topics.
There's one more. We just did 4.
Childhood, worst experience, food, Ramzan also did, and movies. Yeah.
Childhood.
Okay. TM Faisal. Okay, is TM Faisal available?
DTM Faisal, are you there? DTM Faisal, are you there? All right, maybe we can move ahead, and instead I'll just read what Toastmaster Diana wrote. All right. Yeah. So Toastmaster Diana wrote, "Benched, I think that speakers is making a good group. Bench, I want to be a leadership. This club meeting that gets powerful in my mind. Bench with my disability people. Bench, I need to prove that my speech was French, and I want to learn more that speak as better. Bench, and I felt very nerves inside my stomach as a butterfly benched." Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
We
Yes.
invite everyone.
If you have a topic, go ahead.
Okay, so I would like to invite TM Sa, who wishes to volunteer for a table topic.
Oh yes.
So please, TM Sa.
DTM.
I'm sorry.
Toastmasters,
I apologize. Okay, so DTM Sir, your topic is same as that we gave to Diana. Share any childhood memory of dream. Over to you.
When we were children. Okay, sorry, children, not children. So much for being a DTM. But yeah. When we were children, we used to walk out, to actually walk out in the rain, dive, take a bath and everything. As in the normal people. But when it came to me, I absolutely hated the rain from day one. Why was that? I was not in my in that part of my life that I saw the pools in the ocean, the pools in Karachi, but the reason was quite strange because I was that person who was an introvert, who liked to stay inside, who was pampered. That when it rained, everyone who was in my house went outside and I was like, "Mujhe kuch kaam hai ghar mein. I need to do some work at home." So yes, you can go. I'll just stay. So to the best of my knowledge, those are the memories of my childhood. Over to you, Imran.
Thank you, DDM Sir, for sharing your childhood memories with all of us. So, timer, are all the speakers qualified?
Yes, all the speakers are qualified.
So this brings an end to the table topic session. Now I would like to hand over the charge to DM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. Now we move on to the third and final session of the meeting, and that is general evaluation session. And for that, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Ahmed to please come onto the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Today I have been promoted to the rank of general evaluator by our dear VPE. So, is Toastmaster Ahmed there?
No,
yeah, I'm really missing her. Okay, so once a great person said that without good evaluation, you cannot improve your speech. And that great person is sitting right here, Madam President. So the evaluation section is divided into 3 parts. Okay, first we have the prepared speech evaluation, then we have the table topics evaluation, and then we have the facilitators report. So first we will move to the prepared speech section. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Ahmed. Is he there? Okay. Toastmaster Ahmed, this was the first time that I was hearing you speaking. The only thing I remember you was your recitation at the trio conference. You know, that was really good, and I still remember that. So Toastmasters Ahmed Bilal's speech was drenched in emotions. And to evaluate him, we have Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza.
it's my great pleasure to evaluate the champion, TM Ahmed Bilal. I'll start with the good things. And there are no bad things. The good things are that he started his journey when he was given an opportunity to host an event, and later he was taken the opportunity was taken back from him, and at the 11th hour, the opportunity was again given to him. So he converted the whole event of sorrow into joy, and that was phenomenal. Start when he gained our interest and when he engaged all of us. Then he started to discuss about his district trio contest, and the act of his humbleness was a lesson for all of us when he offered the water to one of the speakers who was having hiccups. And that was phenomenal when he related that event to how he improved his management skills, how he went into the management. And he jumped, and then he also appraised some of the fellow Toastmasters such as DDM Talaha and DM Rabia. And moreover, his whole speech was motivating all of us that all the members should be positive and they should come up at the stage and they should adopt the prompt speaking style. For the justification, what he had through this event was when he started his table topic sessions back in 2019, where he was not able to speak for 15 seconds. And then just after 3 years, this year, he became the table topic champion. The way he handled was phenomenal, giving all of us the advice to be positive and to be a prompt speaker. Only one area of improvement that I had to scratch from the deeper part, as I had no areas of improvement, that the tone all over the speech was same. He would have added more value to the speech if there were some vocal varieties, but everything was phenomenal, especially his background. I remember his contest, his backgrounds are always phenomenal. Yeah. So that's all from my side. Over to you, thank you.
Thank you, Mufaddal. That was a profound evaluation of that content. Now, usually the first speech is the most difficult one. I joined Toastmasters back in December, but my first speech was in March. So you can understand that procrastination thing. Okay, so our first speech was, our icebreaker was from Toastmaster Mubashra. And to evaluate him, we have Toastmaster Fahim Razak.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. Well, what a way to start, TM Mubashra. At the start of his speech, you said you had these sweaty palms and that you were nervous. Not at all. Your composure was phenomenal as the first icebreaker speech. It was great. And ladies and gentlemen, what a lovely way to start, right? In a storytelling way. Once upon a time, in a town called Toba Take Singh, a mother was trying to give a birth, but the child wasn't cooperating. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. And it took the sound of 2 fire shots for her to come out. Right? What a beautiful way. It was kind of like salute way to come out. And then you see, in the first speech, I remember I was so nervous. I had even put like, I'm going to say this, it has got a humor, it has got a joke. And I just couldn't come out. Even though I mentioned it, but the way I thought I would say it, it never came out. But the way you mentioned it, because you had three humor points in your speech, and I'm going to repeat it here. First one was because you came out with the fire shot sound. You said you were sensational in dealing with your sisters. Then you were doing the medical journals for your sisters. Then you decided that's why you're not going to go into medicine. I was thinking you're going to say that's why I went into medicine. But again, very unassuming style. You see, that caught our attention. Then obviously that's an exposure thing. Oh, my child is stuck because he had been playing it. Again, a very unassuming way of saying it, and to be able to say it the way you intended is a masterclass in your first speech. And then as you came close to your speech, I was thinking, but we need to know more about you. Tell us what you are. I mean, what sort of childhood you had, what siblings, I mean, your mother. And then obviously you came to those facts. And I was like, yeah, she hasn't disappointed us. So you mentioned your mother of 2 children, a daughter, age 9. And then again, that humor piece came in with the facts. Oh, I'm not a good book lover, and I have learned from my daughter that how to read books, and now I'm reading the book to learn it from a child. Again, that punch line that you had is wonderful. It keeps the audience attentive to what you're saying. Now, in terms of the improvement, in terms of the developing point, I wouldn't say even an improvement, just a developing point, and there aren't that many. The only thing I would say, you were just standing here and you were just narrating your story. The only thing I would say is just add a little bit of movement here and there, especially when you have got the punch lines, like the elder or the medical journal I was doing this. Just bring that thing in. It just brings the audience attention even more, but you had it throughout anyway. And the next one is, again, as you will give the speech, you will learn it obviously, and you will, I'm sure, use it here, is the vocal variety and body language. Again, just punch it if you need to. With that, over to you, Wasif.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim Razak. You know, the best part that I like about Toastmaster Fahim Razak is that when he is here on the stage, he likes to enjoy himself. That's the best thing. Okay, point, explain, elaborate, restate. That's the third speech, and that was from DTM Sarfaraz Nadi. And to evaluate him, we have Toastmaster Syed Ahmed.
Thank you very much. Barish Barse Cham Cham Cham. How can I come? What a wonderful way to start the speech. Begin Sarfaraz is a seasoned and very experienced speaker, and I was expecting that she will engage the audience from start to end, and that's what he did throughout of his speech. And as I said, that Imran told me, grab me here. He told me that Adam, come here. There is an icebreaker speaker, and it will be very easy to agree. But later on, I came to know that became surprised and my eyes were drenched. Anyhow, this was a lovely speech, and the best thing I liked in this speech that this speech was very practical speech. This speech was the crux of his long-term experience with the Toastmasters. The way he explained how to write a speech was very easy for even for the new novice Toastmasters. How to make a tree and how to pick the top 3 ideas and convert it into a speech. That was a very easy way to actually for the Toastmaster to understand to write a new speech. And the second thing I like in his speech was the use of the slides. He used the slide excellently, both of his body as well as the content of his slides was visible to the audience. So it was very easy to understand what he's talking about on the slides. And the third thing, of course, is that he always did that he incorporate the humor very well in the speech. From, as I said in the start, from the rain till he even picked the sentence of the Toastmaster of the day. So that was outstanding. And coming to the session, as I said that my eyes were drenched and I was searching for suggestion to improve. Well, there are a few very small suggestions. His topic of his speech was that prepare a 5-7 minute speech in 5 to 7 minutes. So I believe that somewhere in his speech that he should mention that whatever he's told that to go on the Google and write the idea. How could we summarize it into the 5 minutes? I was thinking that it might take me about a half an hour to write a speech. And second thing, that his speech objective was to connect with the audience, connect with the unfamiliar audience. So obviously his speech was very excellent, and I believe that unfamiliar audience could also understand. But I would suggest him to deliver his speech somewhere to the non-Toastmasters, so they can also understand how to understand the speech. And this is all from my side. And as he said that the tree method he loved the tree method because he made it. So I also love the tree method because the DTM Sarfraz made it. General Elliot.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sayyid Adam Ali. Evaluating DTM Sarfraz Nadeer in itself is a challenge. Yeah. To take on that challenge itself is a big thing. Okay. So, I really am not interested in purchase of cars because that is not in my age right now. But again, this is the next speech of Toastmaster Bihar Khan. I hope I have pronounced it right. Toastmaster Bihar Khan, and he was evaluated by he will be evaluated by DTM Sarfraz Nadeer.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and especially you, Toastmaster BK. In Texas, USA, there are thousands of Mexicans. Many of them are named J-O-S-E. They are not pronounced Jose, but Jose. And that's where the Bihar comes in. So I figured if the Karachi Toastmasters Club has GQ, why not BK? Bihar, today, Karachi Toastmasters is holding its 999th meeting on 20th July. In your speech, when you said today is 19th July instead of 20th, I thought perhaps somewhere on this earth, it is still 19th July. So I won't mention why you said 19th instead of 20th. Because sometimes people say, well, it's time to drink. And even if it's not evening, they say it's already time to drink somewhere on this earth. I'm going to tell you 3 things I liked about your speech and then tell you how you can improve your speech. The first thing I liked your speech was your smile and your relaxed manner and disposition. Even though this was your second speech in level 1, you came up in front of the audience, you stood there, smiled, and throughout your speech, I could see your hands because you were holding them near your face. And I noticed that your hands were not shaking because I have seen some people where the hands are shaking, especially when they are new, giving their second or third speech. But you were very relaxed, and I like that. The second thing I liked about your speech was that you gave us your personal stories about your experience with buying a car, negotiating a price. The third thing I liked about your speech was humor. Many experienced Toastmasters have trouble talking about humor. Yesterday, I was talking to one of the past district directors in District 50, and he said, oh, I have trouble using humor in my speeches. When you said, "Ye gaadi nahi bikegi," you use some Urdu humor, and I could hear people in the room laughing. I think I may have even heard someone laughing in the lobby of Beach Luxury. So I liked your speech for that reason. Now, how can you improve? I cannot give you a 5 to 7 minute talk in 2-3 minute evaluation, but I can tell you, you were using stories. You can expand upon those stories. Just like I mentioned in my speech, explain your point, elaborate. In your story, you mentioned your brother. Tell us a little bit more about your brother. You mentioned going to a man's home and he said he was not going to negotiate. Tell us about that man. Was he big, short? Why did he not want to negotiate? So When you expand and elaborate, it will extend and you will not be undershot below 4 minutes, 30 seconds. I love your speech because you smile, your personal story, your humor, and expand your story next time, and you will have a great speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Sarfaraz. Nobody can give you better points than DTM Sarfaraz will, of course. If someone is moving around and holds the audience and grips them and then punches them with his points, his humor, his everything, that's only one person, and that's DTM Aliasha. And to evaluate DTM Aliasha, we have Madam President Ibaris.
DTM Ali said, during the time you spoke, you had good clarity and confidence, which I found in your speech. You also had good eye contact, and I constantly found you looking at the audience, virtual audience and visitor. During the time you spoke, you had good body gestures and hand gestures which you used to express yourself. When the audience were quite aware about what you were speaking because it was from your love life. You had good comfort level, and I could detect no signs of hesitation or any sort of nervousness. And however, there was some room for improvement which you could improve upon. The first one being that you could have incorporated vocal variety in your speech so as to bring more depth and interest. And then the specific purpose and the general purpose could have also been a bit more clearer. So overall, it was a pretty good speech, and with slight adjustments in your next speech, you will become a better speaker.
That were really some strong points by the Madam President. Food poisoning can at times be a really serious issue. It can develop into a nightmare. It can make you lose some weight too. Next speaker was Toastmaster Shakib, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, and especially Toastmaster Shakib. What a wonderful speech you delivered today. I like that you used your personal stories that also incorporated with storytelling with your project. I like the way you started your speech in which you told us about a day when there were guests came in your home and you went to the restaurant to have a good meal, but instead of good meal, you got a nightmare meal. I liked the way you added humor in your speech, especially when you said the trumpet, something in your stomach were bothering you, and you went to the hospital, and after that the people were in north and the bags were your family bag one on your left, on the north, the south, east, west, and you were puzzled about the things that happened in the hospital. Overall, it was good speech, but there is always a room for improvement. So, in my humble opinion, when you are here to deliver a speech, you started with a story that incorporate with your storytelling, but bring more gesture and vocal variety. Like when you said, bombardment in my stomach, So you can speak like the compartment in my stomach and the stomach of my family. You drench ourselves with this punching point. So all across the board, it was good speech. Just you used storytelling. You used your stage for sometime here, sometime there. The punching point, the improvement point of your speech is to just use vocal variety, gesture, and this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina Azam. That was a really profound evaluation, we could say, especially after that bombardment point. That was great. Okay, so now we are moving to our next section, and next section is the table topics evaluation, and we will be evaluated by the table topics speakers will be evaluated by Toastmaster Vishan Aziz. By about Toastmaster Vishan Aziz. One is his height, and the second thing is effortless humor.
Yes. Oh, yes. Can you stand a little bit back? I don't want to adjust the camera. Yeah, okay. Now it's perfect.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Toastmaster Ahmed led us through this, and he started with a quite eloquent description about rain, which I never thought about rain in so much depth. Normally, I'm just complaining when it happens, but thanks to you, I'll think about it more in the colors that I see. Actually, the colors do become very bright afterwards.
Yeah.
And only recently have I come to notice this. Before, everything is like brown. After rain, it becomes greenish, greener, actually. So he started off. I know a few people weren't here at the beginning, but then he started off with Toastmaster Ahmed was first. And she described about the food. Her question was about the food when it pours, and I really like this one because you use the word palate, like taste palate, and for some reason I've always liked this word palate. You were contrasting it with Karachi and Lahore at the beginning, and then you went on to say in your own household what it's like, and that was really nice. Again, like using the palate thing, I was like engrossed. I really love this word. I don't know why. I had this this feeling with the palette, but it was very well done. Next, it was Toastmaster Diana's turn. Should I do her first or?
Yeah.
Okay. For Toastmaster Diana, I don't understand she's online. So I really like what you had written there. Unfortunately, I only got to hear it once. Is there a way we could have it? Because I thought it was really well written, and if you could share it in the group.
Yeah.
Just as a reflection piece, I thought it was quite reflectionary. So that was quite nice and well written about your somewhat touched on your childhood about rain. Then we had Toastmaster Ramzan, our guest, about talked about the happy and sad when it rains. And from the very beginning, I admire what you were doing because you were using gestures so well, which I don't do at all. Like I just stand like this. And to give you an example of the strength of his gestures. When he was talking about up in the mountains, he pointed up. When he was talking about back before, he pointed backward. And there was one more you did. I think you pointed at the clouds when you said that towards the end, you mentioned the clouds and you pointed like again in another direction. So I could like picture mountains here, a cloud there, and like scratching the back. It worked really well. Really well. You did this subconsciously, I think. It wasn't like an intentional thing. So thumbs up and hats off for that. Next, we had a Toastmaster Ali Imran. I hope I got your name right. Talked about movies making rain romantic, yes or no? And you started directly right away answering the question. There was no processing time. But at the beginning, I was like, oh man, he answered way too quick. But no, you took it. You took the answer somewhere. You weren't jumping around like the way I'm doing right now. So, well, at the beginning, you also standing with your hands behind your back, maybe subconsciously as well. But then I was like, oh, I should write this down and point it out. But by the end, you were doing this, and it worked out very well. Next, we had I'm sorry if I'm going over time, but Toastmaster Ahmed was there, who gave his worst rain experience, and you described coming to work alone. That was pretty sad, but I'm guessing you got the day off at the end, so not all was lost there, I think. I'd be pretty happy if I got the day off. Unfortunately, here I don't get anything off. And the last one was Toastmaster Shakib, who described his experience with the rain as being young, as a child. And I know where we both live, the water it's still there next to my house. Now we have a pond next to it, and it's staying there. There's frogs every night. There's a party over there. Yeah, those were all of them, and I thought it was a very, very well done. I know this time we got to have many speakers, and thank you for taking us through that, and thank you to all the speakers who gave it their best. I'm done.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. As I said, humor comes naturally.
Yes.
He does not even move. Okay, now we are moving to our last section, and that's the facility. Oh, vote for the. Please vote for the evaluator.
Yes.
But first, ask you.
Are all the evaluators qualified?
Yes, all the prepared speech evaluators are qualified, except for Madam President. You spoke for shorter time, 1 minute and 40 seconds. And yes, Toastmaster Mufaddal too. You spoke for 1 minute and 47 seconds.
You showed me the green one.
I did?
Yeah.
All right. And thanks for correcting me. I might have made a mistake. All right. So yeah, what to do with you, Madam President?
I should be disqualified.
Isn't there a grade?
No, it's far like she summarized everything so quickly that she even did not meet the grace time. So yeah.
Okay. So please vote for the best evaluator. Okay. Now we are moving into our last section, and that's the facilitators report time. And now I would like to call, one thing I was always really bad at, and I am still really bad at, is grammar. So it's time for our grammar report. And I would like to call Madam President Bihar Khan.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'll present the word master report as well as the grammarian report. So, firstly, I'll go with the grammarian report. Someone said I used to brought up. I was used to brought up. The first blow to someone said this interesting phrase. The first blow to this wounded soldier, and someone pronounced the word wound incorrectly. So, and we reached there. Bombardment in our stomach got upset. Okay, and the word master report is TM Fahim Razak said it at least 2-3 times, and DTM Sarfaraz Nazir 2 times, DTM Aliya Sharendum 2 times, and Mufaddal TM Mufaddal 2 times.
Now it's time for something that we all hate. We never want that report to come out. But that I cannot avoid. Those repeated words which I usually use. I hope my name is not there. So it's time for the counter, and we have Toastmaster Sayyid Azam Ali for that.
Thank you very much. Well, Toastmaster Fahim, very little ahs and ans, 3 ahs and ans, and 2 times use so repeated word. Bihar Khan, his count is 5, and she used and 3 times. And Murtaza, ahs and ans, 4, so 5 times. Amir 2, count is 2 ahs and ans. Mubashira, ahs and ans 6. Favorite word was so and. So was used 6 times, and was used 6 times.
I mean was used 2 times. Nazam, Asanam's 5s and word repeated was used 2 times. Shakiluddin, Asanam's more than 10 times. So 7 times and 3 times. Toastmaster Amna, As 5 times. 6 times. So 8 times. And the person sitting in the black shirt, I don't remember the name.
Imran.
Asanam's more than 10 times, so 4 times because 2 times. Imran Ali, Asanam's 6 times, so 4 times, 3 times. Amashpur, 2 Asanam's, so 5 times and 3 times. DTM Saad, that 2 times. Wase Ahmed, so 3 times, okay, 2 times. And the table topic evaluator, again, I don't remember the name.
Vishal, Toastmaster.
Asanam's more than 10 times, so 3 times and 3 times. This is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank God. Are we saying?
You heard I say that? I said the right thing, right? Okay. Our teacher used to intimidate with this thing. You know what was that? That was the quiz. Now it's time for the quiz. Now it's time for the listeners report. DTM Aliyaship.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase, the general evaluator. So I have some questions for all of you. Who said that patience is the virtue? No, it was against it.
Actually, it was an ancient writer, poet.
What was
William
it?
England.
Yes.
Lang. Wow.
William's Lang.
Impressive. Wow.
Where was Toastmaster Mubashir born? What were the reason of Toastmasters Mubashir hyperactive nature?
5 short gunshots.
Okay. Which method was proposed by distinguished Toastmaster Shakib?
Three methods.
Okay. What does PAIR stands for? PEER.
Point, explain, elaborate, restate.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
First blow to the wounded soldier. Who said this phrase?
You did. It could be you only.
Yeah. Who claimed that there was a drop in Karachi before 3 to 4 minutes?
I think DTM Sarfraz. Fine. Someone who's old enough to remember that. Certainly not
It
me.
was guest Amna.
Oh.
Okay. What was the time duration or the distance between the house and the workplace of Toastmaster Ahmed? The time. Options are
10 minutes.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
30.
30 minutes. Okay.
Usually 30.
Where he worked at that time?
Yeah, audit firm.
Yes. Who claimed that he had been promoted to the general evaluator? Okay. Whose eyes were quenched during this?
Toastmaster Ahmed.
Okay, that's all from my side. Over to the
Thank you, DTM evaluation. Now it's time for the timers report. And for that, we have our DPE, DTM.
Thank you so much. And by a stroke of genius, I decided to note the timings on this post-it application without realizing that this will mean I'll have to sit down and read it. Anyhow, please bear with me. I cannot stand. And if you are so anxious, I'm switching the camera so you can see my face, since you were all trying to see it. Anyhow, so all right. The meeting started 5 minutes late, which is not bad. And the speeches started at 7:10. They were supposed to start at, just give me a second. They were supposed to start at 7:05. So again, not bad. We were right on schedule till then. The speeches themselves, there were 6 instead of 8. And table topic started at 8:13 versus 8:20. That means we saved 7 minutes and we were already late by 5 minutes, and that roughly equates to 2 speeches. Yeah. So yeah, by that time also we were on schedule. GE session started at 8:30 instead of 8:35. So we had lost some ground that we had gained by missing 2 speeches. But the table topics was, it ended at, table topics was supposed to end at, yeah, 8:28. It ended at 8:30. So yeah, roughly on time. Journal evaluation started at 8:30 instead of 8:35. Individual timings, Toastmaster Ahmed spoke for 10:26, Toastmaster Mubashira 6:11, DTM Surprise 5:48, Toastmaster Bijar 3:49, Toastmaster DTM Aliya Sharanjam 6:29, and Toastmaster Shakib being 6 minutes. For table topics, Toastmaster guest Amna 1:45, guest Ramzan 2:24, guest Ali 1:40, guest Ahmed Shakur Malik, I think it was 2:10, and DTM Saad 2:20. For evaluation, Toastmaster Mufaddal 2 minutes, and yeah, I watched it. It was, I think, 5 seconds, or sorry, 25 seconds. Toastmaster Fahim 3 minutes 5, Toastmaster Azam 3 minutes 10, DTM Surprise 3:20, Toastmaster Hiba 1:40, and Toastmaster Hina 2:25. So with that, I hand over the charge back to you, Mr. General.
Thank you, DTM Tala. I guess after this, I don't need to evaluate generally this meeting, because it was really nicely evaluated by the time. Okay, coming to the print, because I have to do it. Okay, yes. That's not right. That's why I'm doing it. The prepared speech part was really good. I mean, the best part about the prepared speech was the icebreaker, because it was drenched in humor. It was drenched in that. And again, all the speeches were up to the mark and they were really good. Coming to the table topics part, those topics were really good because they were related to the theme and everybody cherished those memories of them. I know when you were talking about, the worst part of that meeting, the worst day, everybody went into their worst day in real. So this is how everybody cherished their memories. So table topic was done really nicely. Table topic evaluation was done really nicely. As I said, the humor, you can't challenge. Evaluation, again, evaluation was done really nicely. Then facilitators report. Our counter was really serious with his jobs. I must say that. Other than that, everything was on time. I guess we are already.
Yes, we are on time.
We are on time, right? So that's from my side. That's from general evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed, for that great general evaluation. I'm never too sure why is this part built in, where the TMOD comes in and then he straight away hands over the charge to Madam President, is it?
Yes. Yes. Votes.
Votes.
They need to ask for votes for the big four. Yeah.
Yes, please do vote for Big Four. The vote is being floated by our vote counter, PT and SAR, and in person who are not on the WhatsApp group can then do it and for the paper.
Ask them to take membership so that they are on the board.
That is true. That is true. And with that, over to you, Madam President.
I would like to have some remarks from by the guests. So, are the online guests?
Yes, there are. There's DTM Faisal, if he's available. DTM Faisal, would you like to share your remarks with us? I think he's away or maybe not able to speak. So,
DTM Talha and Madam President, I have a question. Did we give a standing ovation to our icebreaker?
Yes, sir, we did immediately after she finished the speech.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Reminder, sir. Thank you so much. So you can invite the guests from here, right?
Okay, so
Yeah. Guest Ramzan.
Guest Ramzan.
Guest Ramna.
Could you please?
Thanks, Madam President. It was really amazing to be part of this amazing meeting, and thanks Talha for allowing me to. And thing I liked about this is that everybody is given equal chance, and everybody is allowed to come on stage and speak their art out. And I would love to take membership and come to Talha to explain me exactly what are the requirements for that. Overall, it was very well organized and obviously, especially the R counter. I didn't realize that I use R, and so true probably. Thank you so much for that.
So I've had exposure to Toastmasters before as well when I was at Agro, and but experiencing it in person is very eye-opening. The way it's all structured, the way how it's all structured to keep every single person engaged. Like every evaluator is also engaged thoroughly. Then there's an R counter, and then there's a timekeeper. So every single member, even online members, perhaps less engaged than the people in present. But I love the structure that is. Everyone is engaged, and obviously it's been it's spread across the globe, and this model has developed over years. It's a very developed and a very established model, and I'm really impressed. And I'm impressed by the energy inside this room. I don't know how long you guys have known each other, but the energy inside this room and the bond that I can very clearly feel that you guys here for each other, it's very impressive. And that has, that apart from the structure of Toastmasters, the energy that you have towards each other, that is what's bringing life to this model, this really good model. So I'm really getting impressed, and I've come here to bring it to the company where I work at. We're definitely going to go ahead and talk to you more in detail how the next steps are going to be.
Sure. Thank you so much.
And yes, Toastmaster Ahmed, we have some comments.
Thank you very much. Well, it was outstanding experience to be here. And a lot of things I have in my mind. I came here, I think, 3 years back. And I was very impressed with the meetings. And after this meeting, I decided to make a club in my company. And it took a lot of my time. And again, I am very impressed to attend this meeting. Let's see what's.
So make another one.
That's what I'm going to do next. And meeting was wonderful. All the speakers and all were outstanding. And I was impressed with as Amir said, the energy of all of you. And I'm particularly impressed with the speech of the icebreaker. The content was excellent, and she's a very good writer. Looking forward for the further speaking in the future. And this is all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, can you have some comments?
Thank you so much, Madam President.
And thank you so much, Azam Ali, to bring me here. It was such an brilliant meeting. I enjoyed a lot today. The speeches were good. The table topics were engaging. And overall, it was a great experience as I am an online speaker and I always try give my speeches in online. But there is a big difference between an online meeting and a physical meeting. And hard for it's a very wonderful experience in to face people in front of you either than in virtual. So virtual is also good to improve your public speaking, to improve your confidence, but physical is also good. Both are good. So thank you so much.
We have another guest. Yeah, Imran.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Become a member and you won't be called like that until then. Mr. VP membership.
I know.
Yeah.
You're giving a fantastic.
So I really enjoyed. It was my second time here. I really enjoyed it. There were more people here this time than before, and people are from different walks of life. They bring different experiences from their own fields. So I really enjoyed it, and I'll keep on coming here. Inshallah.
And do we have any other announcements to make?
Sorry.
Do we have any other announcements?
Yes, of course, the voting results.
Okay.
As usual. Yeah. So just like you are the joke master, DTM Saab is always the vote counter.
When I once again, was the vote counter? I was like, fine, and that I don't have to vote because I'm the vote counter. But all of the speeches, table topics, evaluation were so much accurate that almost in every poll we had a tie, almost a tie. Not a tie, but almost a tie. But the best prepared speaker goes to by a very small margin to Toastmaster Ahmed. Sorry, DTM Ahmed. Table topic speaker goes to the person who was absolutely drenched. Toastmaster Ahmed Shakib. The best prepared speech and the best prepared speech evaluator again goes to TTM Safran Nazir. The best facilitator award next time when I just take the vote counter role and just add this role in the voting. Once again, the listener wins the best facilitator, Toastmaster Ahmed. And the best of Big Four, the toughest. Seriously, it was tough. Everyone was voted, but the best Big Four goes to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ahmed. Yeah, sorry. Choice award goes to the wounded soldier, DTM Ahmed. Yeah.
And with that, the meeting is adjourned.
No, actually, there's just a bit of an announcement, but yeah, fine, you can adjourn. So yeah, so everyone, thank you, Madam President. So everyone, today was meeting number 999. So what does that mean? Next meeting will be 1000, and we plan to have a grand event. So all of you are strongly urged to attend that meeting. It will be a special one. We are just finalizing the agenda for it. Of course, it will reflect upon the 22-year history of the club. It will also pay tribute to the people who actually played a role in this club, in its growth and sustenance and founding. And we will make an attempt to involve whoever attends. So next meeting will be the 1000 meeting. We will shortly be floating a poll to check with the members who plans to attend in person and who plans to attend online, so that we can make arrangement. Let me also tell that we have invited in the entire district executive committee. We also have a few foreign dignitaries. Of course, they're not flying in, thank God, otherwise we would have paid for their lodging and boarding level, but they will be virtually here. And we have invited all the clubs who were founded by KTC members, which means we have invited 21 clubs. The fact that we have around 43 eligible clubs right now. Half of them are either founded, co-founded, or sponsored by KTC members. So we've invited their presidents and VPs, and many have committed to come. So it will be a grand event. It will be an occasion, especially for the newer Toastmasters, to mingle with other clubs, other Toastmasters, and inshallah, we will not only pay respects to the founders and go our ahead in gratitude to the Almighty, but also pay tribute to the members and to the past members and to the attendees. So everyone, please mark your calendars next year, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. and hopefully a far bigger hall, inshallah, but the same tea and coffee. Don't get your hopes up. Otherwise, be prepared to pay through the nose.
Yeah.
So everyone, that was the announcement. And with that, thank you, Madam President, for giving me this opportunity to come on the stage. And yes, as stated before, the meeting had already been adjourned. So what are you guys doing here? See you next week. Thank you so much. Thank you, online participants, and see you next week.